Do you feel like your cravings are ruling your life? Like you feel sleepy, tired, unproductive, unfocused, and you wish you had your energy back? Don't worry. If you are one of the millions of Americans that wish they had their energy back from when they were teens or they were in their 20s, stay with me. I'm going to show you by the end of this video strategies that are going to help you regain your energy and feel like $1,000,000 again. So if you're interested, keep watching. Let's face it, Americans are in love with snacking. Snacking is an American pastime, and we owe this to the food industry. The food industry has made sure that we stay addicted to sugar, salt, processed foods, inflammatory oils, preservatives, and we feel like this is the way that we're supposed to be eating. But what if I told you that's not the way? What if I told you there's a better way and that there's a reason why you feel so tired all the time and like you are fatigued and don't have any energy to keep going? Our bodies were made to eat real food. The food that we're eating right now is man-made food that our bodies do not recognize as food. When I first discovered that I had elevated blood sugar, I was stunned. My dad had died from diabetes, and that was definitely not what I wanted for myself. I was a dietitian. I was eating what I thought was the perfect diet, 4 to 6 small meals a day. That's what I was taught in dietetic school. And I felt like I had a great diet. I was eating everything in moderation, but in reality, I was eating the standard American diet, which is the SAD diet, S-A-D, SAD diet, because it is so full of inflammatory foods like sugar and processed foods and seed oils and things that leave us wanting more. And if this is you, don't worry, I've got your back. It took me many years to figure it out, but I'm here to tell you that it is possible for you to regain your energy back and your health. Some of the symptoms I experienced were irritability. I couldn't sleep. I was hungry all the time, yet I was eating every 2 hours or so. I was snacking all the time, and I had pain in my joints and in so many other parts of my body, but my gut was a mess. I was bloated, and every time I ate, something hurt. And of course, my doctors all wanted to give me all kinds of medication, which I tried, but they didn't work. But the anxiety was unbearable. I finally found a way through functional nutrition to get to the root causes of my condition. And I'm here to give you the strategies, and you can start right away. You don't have to be a dietitian or a nutritionist, and you don't have to wait years and years and years. So I'm here to tell you there's a way out. Okay, so let's just start with step one. Step one is we need to eat real food most of the time. I'm not saying you're going to give up all the food that you love, but in the beginning, it's so vitally important to eat real food. What is real food? We start out with protein. What is protein? Protein comes from animal products, comes from legumes, nuts, seeds, and protein is what our bodies crave all the time. Unfortunately, we also crave sugar, and the reason we crave sugar is because we don't have enough protein. Protein is necessary for the body to grow and repair and restore everything that we need. There's so many reactions that are going on in our body chemically, and protein is at the heart of them. So we need to make sure that we eat enough protein with every meal. So what is enough protein? Eggs, pastured chicken, grass-fed beef, legumes, tofu. Make sure that it's organic, because in this country, the tofu and the soybeans are full of glyphosate. Glyphosate is Roundup, and Roundup is inflammatory to your gut. So you don't want to eat regular tofu. You want to make sure it's organic, and the food needs to be as clean as possible. Eggs are a great way to get started with your breakfast. So when we don't have enough protein and enough amino acids, now an amino acid is a part of a protein, it's the smallest part of the protein, which our bodies break down a long chain of amino acids into one amino acid at a time, and that's how we utilize them for all kinds of processes in the body. If we don't have enough protein, our bodies will be craving sugar. sugar and fast foods and things that don't make us feel good. So have you noticed that when you eat fast food and inflammatory foods that are processed and full of starch, refined grains, that you feel like you're empty, like you could just eat and eat and eat a whole bag of potato chips and you're still not satisfied, you're still not feeling good? That's because you're not eating enough protein. So if you begin your meals with protein, that release of sugar is going to be slowed down. So let me just go back. Whenever we eat food, it doesn't matter what food we're eating, it needs to be broken down into the simplest form, which is glucose. Glucose is sugar. But the key is it has to be done slowly. The body has to have time to digest it and break it down very slowly, because otherwise your insulin, which is a hormone secreted by the pancreas, the insulin is in charge of getting that sugar or that glucose into the cell for energy. If you have too much sugar, if you're eating loads of sugar drinks and cakes and pies and pastries instead of food, what happens is the insulin goes way up. Remember, insulin is a hormone. Hormones are in charge of communicating to other hormones in the body and letting them know what's going on. And one hormone communicates to the other. If the message is erroneous, then there's a cascade of consequences. That's why you feel so bad when you have a soda, for example. When you have a candy bar with that soda, your blood sugar is going to go way up. There is no protein there. There is no fiber. There's no healthy fats. And that sugar just shoots up. The insulin goes way up. Remember, insulin is a hormone. It sends the wrong signal to the rest of the body, and all of a sudden you have chaos. So you have elevated blood sugar, elevated insulin, and that insulin is in charge of taking care of that glucose, and because it cannot get into the cell, you become insulin resistant. The cell does not recognize insulin that is present all the time. And so when that insulin is so high, the cells become insulin resistant, and that's when you become insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, and diabetic. And so we want to prevent that. Whenever we're feeling tired and have no energy, that's a sign that you may be becoming pre-diabetic or insulin resistant. When that happens, then that sugar gets turned into fat. These fat globules are called triglycerides, and they get stored in the body. They get stored around the arteries, they get stored around the middle. Have you noticed that your belly has been growing over the years? It doesn't matter how much exercise you do, but your belly keeps growing, and that's insulin resistance. And so we add protein to each meal. We make sure that we're eating real food. We then go to step 2, which is fiber. We want to make sure that we have lots of fiber in our diet, coming from plant foods and plants that are organic. And so when you have lots of fiber and insoluble fiber, that fiber delays the conversion to glucose, again, slowing down the release of insulin. That's the whole goal. And when you combine it with the protein, then you have a meal that lasts you a lot longer. You're not going to be craving at this point. And then number 3, you're going to go to healthy fats. Healthy fats are things that exist in nature in their natural form. Olive oil, coconut oil, olives, avocado oil, nuts and seeds, and nut butters. All of this is going to provide what we call satiety. Satiety is feeling full, feeling satisfied, feeling like you've had a meal and you can rest. It's called rest and digest. After you eat, you're supposed to just allow that digestion to make you feel good, like you're satisfied and full and healthy. And if you're not feeling that way, there's something going on. There's something that you're eating that is not agreeing with you. Years and years and years of eating this type of diet, which is an inflammatory diet, is going to have a consequence. The consequence is elevated blood sugar. Elevated blood sugar leads to inflammation. Inflammation leads to every other chronic disease. It doesn't matter whether you're 15, 25, 35, 55. It doesn't matter how old you are. You will develop inflammation. You will develop chronic disease. This is not the way it's supposed to be. The key here is to stop snacking. And so here you have protein, fiber, and healthy fats. You've gotten rid of all the sugar, the alcohol, the processed foods. Now you're eating real food. You don't need to snack. You just need to eat enough food at every meal, enough protein, about 30 grams, 20 to 30 grams of protein. 1 gram of protein is 1 ounce of meat. So 1 egg equals 7 grams of protein, and 1 ounce of meat equals 7 grams of protein. So shoot for 20, 25, 30 grams of protein per meal, and enough plant food that will help you stay satisfied, enough fat that will help you stay satisfied and healthy and feeling good. And you can go 4 to 6 hours without eating and make your largest meal during the day, in the morning or in the afternoon. But stop eating huge meals before you go to bed. That's not going to be good for your stomach, for your digestion. It's not going to be good for your sleep, for your blood sugar, for your anxiety. All of these things will resolve the minute you start using food as medicine. So my message to you is get rid of the processed foods, bring in real food, and see how you feel. Give it a try. Try it for 3 weeks and see what happens. And let me know in the comments if you've done it. Let me know if you feel you can do this, and let me know if you need help. My name is Monica. I am a functional nutrition practitioner, and I'm here to help you not only balance your blood sugar, but prevent chronic illness. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more about this and how to balance your blood sugar and how to stay healthy. And make sure that you tap on the bell so that we can notify you when I release a new video. I'll see you in the next one.